Remember when it seemed like every horror movie that came out in the early 2000s was a remake? Well, here's a list of the most financially successful ones. And stay tuned until the end because I was shocked at which one was the highest grossing. 2007 was Rob Zombie's divisive Halloween remake. It was a huge financial success though. It made $77 million on a mere $15 million budget, all while it got very mixed reviews. But it showed that Michael Myers was potentially more popular than ever and one of the best performing of the series, actually. And surprisingly enough, Piranha 3D from 2010 was a huge success. This movie made $83 million on a $24 million budget. I did not remember that this movie was quite that popular. It was popular enough to warrant a sequel, although that sequel did get a much smaller release. The 2009 remake of Friday the 13th made $92 million on a $17 million budget. While also pretty divisive, this reboot was very successful, and I do think that it was a great way to do a remake. No one was exactly clamoring for a remake of the very first film the way that that one was made. People wanted Jason, and this movie gave that to them. Another one that I was kind of surprised to see that was as successful as it was My Bloody Valentine 3D. Now, this movie made $100 million on a $15 million budget. I'm kind of surprised that this didn't kick off a new series. I know the ending didn't exactly warrant one, but, come on, horror does that all the time. Dawn of the Dead, another remake that is pretty widely beloved, made $103 million on a $28 million budget. I know for me personally, this was a classic when I was a teenager. Widely accepted as the remake that started the early 2000s remake boom was the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It made $107 million on a shoestring budget of only $9 million. Of course, the smash hit success warranted a prequel, and no surprise at all that it started a trend. Alright, we are closing in on the last two films, the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street remake. This came out to terrible reviews and is still pretty widely disliked to this day. While some others on the list are a little more well-liked or possibly getting a little bit of a re-evaluation in this day and age, this movie still remains very widely disliked. Yet on a $38 million budget, this movie made $117 million, making it the second highest grossing horror remake of the era. And surprisingly enough, the highest grossing horror remake of the early 2000s is the 2006 Omen, which made $119 million on a $25 million budget. I did not expect this movie to be a higher grossing IP than Freddy or Jason, and it's not like it got good reviews or anything like that, so what the heck happened here? And those were the highest grossing horror remakes of the early 2000s. What's weird about this era is a lot of these movies did not get sequels. Or maybe they got like one sequel but didn't exactly spawn a franchise, which I think is kind of strange. Anyways, which ones were you surprised to see on this list?